But you have to make changes here. Okay. What changes? No changes. Not much. What you have to do initially? You have to change the URL. Leave http/ as it is. But keep the URL. In this. Okay. Success factor is always on a different data centers. Yes. You know that, right? So there are different centers. We have Singapore centers, we have China center, we have Netherlands, we have Germany, Australia. So when you get your tenant, they can give you this data center from anywhere. When you buy your license, this data center is provided from anywhere. Ideally, what they do, they give you the nearby data center. Like, if you're working in Singapore, you will get the Singapore or maybe the China one. It's not always mandatory. You will get the nearer anyone. Wherever they feel like the database on the data center, they will provide you that data center UI. Okay. You have to do these things. Initially, it will not be showing you the correct one. It will be a generic one. So you have to use your data center. Now, after this, you leave everything as it is. This part, IDP, /SAML, metadata, company, everything. But at the end, after company equals 2, you provide your company ID. Just like you did at the top, you have to do this tenant ID, or maybe your company ID can be limited. You provide that company ID. These are technical changes. You don't have to worry about it, but you should know about this. Why we are doing this? We are telling the system that now this is a generic URL, but now I told my system that this is the company ID. It will get synced to whenever I make changes to this company ID, then only there will be a change in the elements. Okay. Not any other company. So your company ID is synced here. Now it will only work for your company ID. This URL for this element system. Okay. Now you go to tenant ID elements and you make any changes, it will have a direct impact on your element now. Now there's nothing else you have to do in the widgets. These are the basic settings in the widgets. But that's not the only thing. There are other setups as well. Then you go to connectors. Connectors. Okay, this is huge. This is huge, and there are a lot of changes that we have to make. Now in the system, in the settings of this connector, you go and again you do nothing, but you provide your company IDs. How? We started now. The very first thing, again, what you do. You set up it. There will be an option. Let me see where that option is. Now, connectors are nothing but that major part through which you import your information. Like before going to LMS, you were live on, let's say, Cornerstone. Or you were doing your learning somewhere else. Connectors are the things through which you import all your information from outside to your LMS system. Let's say I have plenty of items created in different systems. We will work on that. This is very important. So let's say we have plenty of 100 of items that we create. Items are nothing but the courses, right? Let's say we created that number of courses in the different system. Now I have to pull that information or item data in my elements. How would I do that? I can't go and create 100 of items manually, one by one. There are a lot of information, right? There are 100 of employees who did that course. So manually doing that will not be possible, right? Yes, so what do? We use connectors, and in bulk, we can upload everything from anywhere to our system. Got it, okay. These are connectors. So in connectors, you meet two minor changes, but there are a lot of changes. There is a list which I'll show you later. But next is connectors. Now, these are the basic settings that we do. Now we start setting up our data as per the organization. Why I'm saying as per the organization. Let's say, your company might have a different requirement. Like your company has different legal entities. Right, maybe. Every legal entity, your company said, should have a different system. And every legal entity should have a different admin. Like, let's say, AMD has 3 different legal entities, one manufacturing, another IT, and third is, let's say, services. 3 different business. AMD is running right now. Just giving you an example. And your company said every company should have a different admin team. Admin team means HRVP team or HR team. Your HRIS team. Now you are a part of IT legal entity or IT company of AMD. Right. You should only have access to people who are a member of this IT legal entity. I mean, like, okay. Somebody else who is looking after the manufacturing unit. They should have only access to their manufacturing unit. And same goes with the service. So nobody, no HRISP from different legal entities should be able to see, or well, access the other legal entity data. What I'm saying, that AMD says I have 3 different legal entities. You understand legal entity, right? Correct. Legal entity means different businesses. They are a part of. So in this system, I will do what? 3 different legal entities I have. So I'll do what? I will segregate each legal entity. So each legal entity has a different HRVP, or let's say, HRIS. Right. Yes, because that's my requirement. No legal entity should be able to access the other legal entity's data. Generally, that's what happens. You can't access my information because I'm from India. Legal entity. I can't access your data because you are from Singapore legal entity.